Friday with Wizetics, mental health. And we got to let everybody know we got the Young Entrepreneur Summit, April the 25th. April the 25th, the Young Entrepreneur Summit. Yes, don't want to miss that. Link in the bio, down in the description there, you can see the link. Get your tickets. We're going to have a showcase lineup that afternoon, or that evening rather, from 6 to 9, what you call Degrees of Culture. So when you come, it's going to be at the Harvey B. Gantt Center, 12 to 4, April 25th, for the Young Entrepreneur Summit. And so the first part of the summit is going to be a master class. We're going to have panel discussions. We're going to have guest speakers. We're going to have my brother Shaheem the Rugged come through. He's going to be giving, his story on his childhood legacy of being a MC, being a film, being in the film and acting. So we got that's going to be taking place. And so then later on, like I said, that evening, that night rather, from 6 to 9, we're going to be at Buzz City Lounge, where we're going to have showcase lineup. We got local artists. We got artists coming from out of town. Some of the lineup, of course, my brother Shaheem is going to be there. I'm going to be there. King Justice is going to be there. We got Born Justice. He's going to be there as well. Blacksmith Sundays, Black Liberation. Who else we got? And so some of these are local artists here in Charlotte. So you want to come out and show your support. And at the early part of the summit, we got vendors lined up. So let's narrow down a little bit on some of the other people we're going to have. We're going to have Mecklenburg County, McLend is going to be on the scene. They're going to break down, the options that businesses have, entrepreneurs have with their business to be able to get funding from the county. We're going to have some banks there with their reps speaking about, what type of products and services that they offer to entrepreneurs. We're going to have, what else we're going to have? We're going to have some vendors there. We still got limited space for vendors. So if you're seeking to be a vendor, contact me on social media. Contact me here on my Wizetics Mental Wealth here on YouTube. We can get right to it. Line it up. April the 25th. You don't want to miss this here in Charlotte, which we call C Mecca. It's going to be the 5% Nation presents. Yes. And so it's yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's how we kicking it. And we getting this towards young people who are entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs. So if you're someone that's starting up your company and you're looking for connections, because we're going to be mixing, going to have people there from different aspects of the business world. We're going to have those there as possible investors, possible partnerships, possible customers. So those are the different benefits that you will have when you come to the summit. And then you get your tickets. Your tickets at Eventbrite. Like I said, in the description below, you can see access to your tickets. For those that's part of the 5%, you have like an exclusive entry. Contact me. I can give you your promo code, and that'll work for all those that's part of this culture, this lifestyle that we live. And of course, we broadcasting this to the whole public, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the biggest business expo for the year, and it could be for the decade. This is how impactful this is going to be. This is how powerful this is going to be. We having people traveling in from New York. We having people traveling in from Massachusetts. We having people traveling in from PA. We having people traveling in from Virginia, South Carolina, Atlanta, Florida. And oh yeah, we got the author Supreme Understanding, Dr. Supreme Understanding is also going to be a part of the summit. So we got this whole day packed with potent, pertinent information that you can utilize, valuable information that you can utilize to level up, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur. And so whether you're someone that's starting your business, trying to scale your business up, or you're someone that's working within a business inside of a company and you're scaling up your career, all of that is going down April the 25th. And so that's basically what I'm kicking right here on this day, on Freestyle Friday, is letting all my people know that pay attention to what's going on Wizetics Mental Wealth, where we're going to be April the 25th. And that's where you should be April the 25th. And that's what I know you don't want to miss, because I'm telling you, from the Harvey B. Gantt Center with the lineup of the masterclass and the panels, and then later at Buzz City Lounge with the showcase lineup of performances, we got neo soul, poetry, and hip hop jam packed. Don't want to miss this. And so I'm gonna go into some more right here on this Freestyle Friday, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, how will you ever know? This is what Wizetics exists for. This is why I'm here doing what I'm doing. You know, I came in with a lot of energy today. Um, just to let you know what it is. I'm checking some things out right quick. Okay, what's that? Got that right there. Let me look at something right quick, because I came in with a lot of energy, letting everybody know what it is, man, what we got going on. You know, because this just isn't another event. This just isn't another event right here. It's a space for builders, thinkers. You know, you someone, you know, that's consider yourself a future leader. You know, this is a time when you can connect, learn, and position yourself for real opportunity, real partnerships, real opportunity for investors to hear what you got going on in your business, and potentially be able to align you with the funding that you might need to take you to that next level where you're striving to get to. Because, you know, we bringing together entrepreneurs, professionals, everybody all in one room, all in one spot. You know, so yeah, if you're serious about building something, if you know you're serious about growing your network or understanding how to move in today's economy, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to be. I'm telling you. I'm just looking at some things right here, man. I got a lot going on today. Winding down on today, you know, what we got, having meetings with different clients, having meetings with different partners. They started early, working on things, mapping out next move and the next move. We dealing with real estate. We dealing with SaaS, you know, that's software as a service. We dealing with uh, advisory. We're dealing with Community Reinvestment Act and relationship building with the banks, and connecting the banks with the front line, and connecting the front line with the banks. We're dealing with the politicians, being a translator to be able to get the message across to where it need to be and understood how it need to be understood, from the aspect of politicians striving to reach down to their constituents, to the constituents reaching up to the politicians, to be able to understand what's going on, to be able to get what we all need to get, because fair exchange is not a robbery. I'm going to say it again. Fair exchange is not a robbery. So we both are benefiting from whatever it is, whether it's a partnership, whether it's some form, whatever relationship that is existing. This is where we come in with the Wizetics way. The Wizetics way is to ensure that both sides come away with value. We're not dealing with blood sucking from the poor, trying to pull resources out of the community so that someone can live in luxury. That's not what it's about. It's about genuinely providing resources, whether it's knowledge, whether it's access to capital, whether it's, you know, information on credit building, information on how to scale your business, information on investing, information on life. All of that is provided to people in exchange for whatever is necessary to bring equality in that equation. So that's why I say fair exchange is not a robbery. And a lot of times when we come with this type of information, when we come with this approach, certain people get disrupted. So I'm gonna give you a quick overview of something, right? If you are someone that has built your career or built your business off of saying that you are solving a certain problem within the underserved community, low, moderate income community. A lot of times that's, has been the case within the Black community based off our circumstances here in America of being descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, right? So when you look in the Black community, you see a lot of people that's coming in as nonprofits, uh, government agencies, saying they're coming to solve a problem, whether that problem is crime, whether that problem is poverty, whether that problem is uh, illiteracy, whatever the case may be. Check this out. If they are saying that they are coming to solve this problem and they receive funding in the form of grants. So if people receiving grants, nonprofits, government agencies, they get in grant money. And grant money is taxpayers' money. People who pay taxes, they setting aside this money within the budget of the government. So we're going to package a grant for poverty, financial literacy, or first-time home buyers, or education, or crime prevention and intervention, and all of that. So if the grant is being pushed out to say, this is the problem that we want to put this money towards to solve, and you are someone that has built up your business, your organization, or your career off of this problem being a problem, what happens when that's no longer a problem? Let's say the problem becomes solved. Case in point, if the poverty level exists wherever it exists, that in whatever community that is being, case in point, right? With the subject of this right here, certain community is at a certain level of poverty, and organizations, people come in and solve that problem. What purpose is this organization who have built their career or built their livelihood off that? Let me make it more simple because it might not be making sense to you. Okay, XYZ Corporation, XYZ nonprofit organization, right? XYZ Incorporated. They need funding to continue to exist. They need grant money to continue to exist. They need donations to continue to exist because why? It's a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit. And their mission is to address poverty in certain communities. Okay, Black communities. And they receive grants to do that. And the way that they go about solving certain aspects of the poverty problem is through financial literacy. So here we go. If the financial literacy problem is solved, and this XYZ Incorporation whole mission was based off of solving this type of problem, what happens when that problem don't exist no more? There is no need for XYZ Incorporation. So what XYZ Incorporation would have to do is pivot, shift their mission to be able to solve a different problem, right? So let's say we have multiple XYZ nonprofits around a city, a state, and they generally address the problem of poverty in the Black community. If they solve that problem, then their organization becomes obsolete. It's no longer necessary. It's no longer in demand. And if this nonprofit organization has been established with the foundation of its existence being to solve this specific problem, if they solve it, they no longer will receive funding because it's no longer a problem. So they have to find another problem to solve. And with that being the case, this is why, just throw a number out there, 85 to 95% of nonprofit organizations really don't want to solve the problem. They want to address the problem. They want to manage the problem. They want to uh, medicate the problem. Use another example in the field of medicine, in the health medical field. So if individuals are not catching certain diseases, cancer, and they say it's not a cure for it, they basically medicate it, take you through whatever you take. They can catch some of it sometimes, can be caught it early or whatever. But to my knowledge, it's not like a set cure for cancer. Like you catch cancer and they say, well, we give you this and it takes out the cancer. It's more of a treatment. It's not necessarily like a certain medicine, a certain pill that you can take and it eradicates cancer. So now we're not talking about just a cold, because a cold, you can still live with a cold, but cancer, people die from cancer, right? So now, how much money is related to the treatment of cancer? We start talking about the insurance companies, start talking about the pharmaceutical company. That's a whole nother subject. I don't really want to get too much into that. And this is not coming from a conspiracy theory standpoint. I'm just addressing something. I'm giving you an observation, something for you to look at, because the Wizetics way is not telling you what to think. It's just showing you how to think, showing you how to look at things from a different perspective than you might usually have been used to looking at. And when you do have a different perception and actually have the Wizetics way of looking at things, it allows you to be removed from the oppressive experiences that a lot of people have, because they don't know what they don't know. And because they don't know what they don't know, they don't even realize what they need to know. They don't even know that it's certain information that you should have that is very necessary to your own personal growth and development, to allow you to be the best version of yourself. And when you are being the best version of yourself, you're able to also add value to your relationships with other people. But when you don't know what you don't know, and it's critical information that you don't know, and you're continuing to move and make decisions based off what you feel is the best thing that you should do, or what you actually know only to do, with your limited options based off a lack of knowledge on necessary things that could get you to where you need to go successfully, then you find yourself having struggles that you shouldn't have to have. And that's what the Wizetics way is about. This is why I'm here with what I provide. And sometimes it could be controversial. Sometimes it could be, the conversation could cause people to be uneasy. But we got to have these tough conversations. We got to have, these uncomfortable conversations with the intent to bring about a better, a greater result, because it's bigger than the intention. Because you can't blame the traffic for the road. You're driving down the road, the traffic is going this way. It's only going that way because the road is structured for it to go that way. So you can't blame the traffic for the road, for the direction that it's going in. You got to take a look at the road. And so when we're taking a look at the road, we're taking a look at the foundation of things, and we're getting at the root, so that we could do what? Make better informed decisions, so that we can see greater results for ourselves. And some people don't think that we could coexist in a society, in an economy, where everybody are able to have their basic fundamental needs and even some wants satisfied. Only when we are talking about genuine wants and needs. Because when you don't understand how to deal with your desires in the proper fashion, your desires could run rampant and run so rampant that you could never be actually satisfied, because it's like a form of an addiction. Like a person that smokes cigarettes, they continuously smoke. A person that uses whatever type of drug that they have become, addicted to strongly, where just like they become dependent upon it, where they're never fully satisfied in a way of, it's like, yo, you always got to eat some food. But food is considered to be healthy if you're eating healthy food. But so leads me to say that they also have classified, not even necessarily saying classified, but it's certain ways how the food have become just like a drug. In fact, it's actually, chemically, saturated a certain way, where now it becomes negative effect. Instead of you just eating food to sustain your existence, you're eating food that is causing you to not even have a prolonged existence, meaning that you are dying early. You could possibly live longer if you had you know the right diet. And the fact that you might not be having the right diet is leading to you to get certain diseases, having certain ill health, and then the results that are what they are. But here's the thing, the food is a key part to that. So, but then now we got talking about that the food is actually also at certain times saturated with chemicals that are causing a negative effect within your physical body and mental sometimes as well. So it's bringing about these negative results. But these results is like this: you functioning and you being prolonged out, but it's certain ways that money is being made off that. Money is being made off poor decisions that you're making. You're making some poor decisions because you got poor knowledge, or the lack of knowledge. And so now you make poor decisions. Then sometimes people have the information and the knowledge, but they still make poor decisions because they haven't developed the certain discipline to do what they know they should do. And that deals with also having certain habits and certain addictions. So I didn't really want to go too far in all of that, right? Because here we go, April 25th, Young Entrepreneur Summit, Degrees of Culture, Sound, Travel, Young Entrepreneur Summit, April 25th, jam-packed, the knowledge that you need to know, because you don't know what you don't know. But when you come here, when you come there, April 25th, you're going to learn some things. You're going to meet some people that's going to bridge the gap from where you are and where you're seeking to be. Peace.